Good morning. Welcome to Visionary Aging. You are watching Visionary Aging with Mary Winters. I am a gerontologist and the owner of About Senior Solutions. We provide care management. We have some services where we follow people sometimes on a daily basis if needed to make sure that they're safe and healthy. But think of us as your navigator for anything for successful aging and for resources that a senior might need. So we put plans together. We put all kinds of resources together based on the individual needs that an individual might have. And we want to have information for you at your fingertips, whether you work with us or not. We want to make sure that you are living your best life ever and that you can get the resources that you need. So today we have kind of a fun, silly show where we're going to talk a little bit about resolutions, but we just don't really follow through on those resolutions. So we're also going to talk about some great things to keep your immune system up. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Steve McCullough on, and we're going to talk a little bit about a caregiver question that somebody has for us today. So let's see what that might be. Hey, Steve, where'd you cough?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about our immune system too and helping to support that. So do we have a caregiver question today?
We do. One very appropriate for this show, the last show of 2023.
Yay.
So the question comes from a viewer. They want to know what things we could suggest to them to motivate their dad to create a New Year's resolution and stay on that, follow through with that.
Actually, it's a really good question, which we knew about in advance, but it's a great question. And sometimes I think, especially with older adults, it would be better to look at what kind of bucket list things you might have, things that you really want to be able to accomplish, things that really kind of settle and resonate with you personally about what you want to do. And, honestly, it might be something that's very personal or going to a location. It could be something where they're establishing more communication or learning a little something, but it should be something that is, you've heard of the SMART goals, but it should be measurable. It should be something that that we're not going to be overwhelmed with, something that can just be even baby steps to do. So we're looking at, just maybe drinking less soda, or can I have one more vegetable on my plate? Can I change? What can I change? But look at what they really want, and how can you support them in that goal too? So do they need kind of a partner? Most people need somebody to hold them accountable. So are you the right person to hold them accountable, or should they find another friend or a neighbor or somebody in their community where they're living to support them with that goal? Can you sit down with them and say, these are the steps that we might need to take before we can get to this goal, and just make some little minor baby steps towards getting what you need to do? Do you have any specific goals that you like to achieve through the year, or for yourself personally?
I do, but before I go there, I want to, because I'll forget, I just wanted to add in there, you were talking about, like, are we the right person to have that conversation? And we have talked about this in prior shows, where it's not easy to have these conversations with your parents sometimes, when other people could have that same conversation and get an entirely different response, an entirely different buy-in, right? It's a different dynamic when it's coming from a family member. So I know personally, I might tell my dad he needs to do X, Y, and Z. And I think he looks at it as like, my kids should not be telling me what to do, even though I'm not telling him what to do. I'm just making a suggestion. But someone from his friend circle could say the same thing, and the light bulb goes off.
Sure. I call it the nail girl salon effect. It's
What's
like
that?
I call it the nail girl salon effect, the nail salon girl or whatnot. It's like they could sit there, they can go to their therapist, they can talk to their families till they're blue in the face, but all of a sudden they're sitting there having their nails filed and manicured, and the nail girl says, this would be a really good idea for you. And they come home and they say, Sally just told me when I had my nails done that I should do such and such.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've been telling you that forever. We thought that would be a great idea. And sometimes it doesn't matter how that comes about. It's the idea that it happens and it starts unfolding. But they've heard it so many times. They also call it the commercial. So we can bring these little things up and have little discussions about what makes sense or not, over and over and over again, and just kind of drop little breadcrumbs along the way. But the best way to really start some of this is to ask them what they want. What do you want to do to change, Dad? What would make you feel better about making a difference in your world or something with your health? What do you want to change or improve? Or what do you want to get rid of? Is there something you want to lighten your life with?
Right.
Getting rid of some things, and see what direction he wants to get some support in. It's just a matter of looking at little teeny baby steps. In fact, we have our new workbook. It's not quite published, but we have our new workbook on Shape Up. So you can sit down and go through what of the 7 measurable goals that help to support longevity you might want to dive into. And they're so vast and so personalized to what you might want within each of those segments that you can just break it down into small little goals with the workbook. And we'll set up some accountability so that we can have little teams to discuss what's working and maybe to take some different direction to make things work.
Yeah, I think it's so important to have little goals that you can accomplish, because then you get a sense of satisfaction, a sense of pride. You've done something, and as opposed to having this really deep or like a long-term goal that if you fall by the wayside, it's easier to just give up, right?
Yeah.
And say, I'm not going to be able to attain this, and I'm not going to try anymore. But when you have like little steps along the way, it keeps you motivated.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It really does. Let me just bring up Shape Up really quickly, and we can look at what the 7 measures are on here. This is so strange how we're getting our information up here now. I'm not sure why it's doing what it's doing, but let me take it off because it doesn't look right. In any event, we have let's see, now you look weird too.
That could have a lot of ways.
Yeah, so Shape Up is it's an acronym for 7 measures that are proven to support longevity. So it's our spiritual community. So perhaps within your spiritual community, I don't know if you're actually attending services somewhere, if that's something you can do online. The idea of community also is to be with others, but the idea of really embracing spirituality on any level, whether that be a specific faith or religion or something where it's meditation and breathing and really giving up your angst to something bigger than ourselves, that even maybe within an AA program or something where we're just really challenged with the immenseness of something that we may be troubled with, and being able to unburden ourselves with that is an enormous support that research actually tells us that the spiritual community helps us really to thrive, reduce our blood pressure, and to stay healthier. We're actually seeing now, and we'll go into our immunity, but we're seeing that loneliness is one of the biggest causes of all kinds of things, but the highest reason for deaths too, which we learned, unfortunately, through COVID. And I have to say that we didn't have a single person pass away from COVID, thank God, but they died from loneliness, or they died from a different disease process that they died by themselves mostly. So terrible, terrible situation. So connection and that social community that spiritual community is so important. Healthy life balance. So this is a big category where we can really kind of break it down, but you can look at what your health measures are as far as, are you getting to your annual physical? Are you doing your routine dental checks? Have you done your legal kind of check and background? Do you need an advanced healthcare directive? Do you need your power of attorney? These are just the things, the tools that you want to have. And those are free. They're forms you can pull off from each state that you're in and get those things. Some of them need to be notarized, not all of them. Advanced Healthcare Directive typically does not need to. It needs 2 witnesses. Power of attorney for finances does need to be notarized. That's such a great tool so that if you have something happen to you, it's a gift to yourself and it's a gift to other people to say, I know what Steve wanted. I know Stephen wanted this and he didn't want that. When you have those discussions, it's so helpful. But healthy life balance is looking at your laughter and having fun and how long are you sleeping? Are you sleeping too much? Are you sleeping too little? Are you getting undisturbed sleep? How can we help with that?
So I have a question on that. You talk about the forms and being able to pull those off of like a website. What if you, because a lot of seniors, not a lot, but there are seniors who don't have access to the internet or don't know how to use the internet. My dad being one of them. So yes. How would those citizens obtain those forms?
Yeah, so let me give you, I'll put up Jenny's email. We have the perk, which you can also get for free, and Jenny will send that out to you. But if you reach out to Jenny, GINNY, at aboutseniorsolutions.com, we will get that form out to you for free. We can mail it to you. We can send it out. If you need to call us because you don't have email, that number is 626-359-0108, and she can mail whatever information you would like. We have a few other really neat things. We have a journal, also very, very brain stimulating to a certain extent. It's also something historically you can go through your life. It actually shows that it can reduce depression. This is a study out of NIH. And so we have a little guided journal that if somebody wants to have us forward that to them, we would be happy to do that. We won't send a free one other than to our clients printed, but we'd be happy to send the PDF file. It's pretty long. So in any event, it's a great way to sit down and establish communication. If you're doing that with somebody, that might be a bucket list item just to go through. And they're just nice little questions to go through and respond to. So it's not, I'm writing my whole life, but they're great little memory joggers. I also find that even people with a great deal of memory loss, when you start to ask them questions and allow them to flow with their memories, they start coming back in more detail. And you can ask those very specific little short questions, sometimes open-ended questions like, did you have a dog? But you knew that maybe your grandma had a dog. And so you could say, I remember when you had Fluffy still, what color was Fluffy? I don't know what color. Huh, well, let's narrow it down. Do you think she was black or brown? Oh, she was brown. You can really see some memories coming back. Not always. And if you see somebody becoming frustrated by that, or they don't want to answer, they have kind of a quick little response that's a little edgy, you know that that's something that's just not going to come back in their memory. But oftentimes you can see that. Even if they're confabulating something, it makes them feel really good to be able to have an answer or response to something. And it's a great way to communicate. And it's a great way to stimulate the brain to continue talking and having those conversations, feeling safe in those conversations, that you're not being judged. And, oh, Grandma, it doesn't matter if you remembered what color Fluffy was. I think, you know, he was a great dog. And was he friendly? Oh, yes, he was very friendly. And that's an easy one to kind of fill in the steps. Or, you know what? He was an ornery little dog. He used to bark and keep, you know, all the little dogs away and the cats away. And
right.
So it's really interesting what kind of responses you get. I'll never forget actually sitting down with my grandmother. She was being interviewed for a mini mental exam, and she wasn't doing very well. But at the very end, she said something about, well, her parents had passed away a month to the day from each other. Her mother had cancer and her father had a heart attack and passed away over her gravesite, actually. And she said he killed himself. He shot himself. And everybody that was there said, what? That didn't happen. She goes, you don't know. You also see things like that. We will never know for sure what happened to him. Right. But sometimes those stories that you keep inside and never tell they come out because there's the filter changes, or the need to express that before you pass away, to get something off your chest may come out. So sometimes you can find some really interesting things that you maybe can't connect the dots to. Maybe you'll always sit and wonder what the real story was behind that.
Right. Yeah.
Very interesting. So then the next thing we have is attitude and influencers and shape up. And it's really about, what is your attitude like? We don't have to be happy and joyful 100% of the time. We're always hit by different moods or situations that we're in. But who are you surrounding yourself with? Listen to yourself when you speak. How much are you speaking in a tone that's negative or critical of other people? Are you an ideas person? Are you somebody who speaks kindly of other people? Can you put a gratitude list together to discuss some of these people that you really enjoy being with? Do you want to reach out to people who are very positive so that you can maintain and kind of protect yourself in that positivity too? So who are the people that influence you? Who would you like to reach out to? Maybe that's a very small goal that you want to create for your bucket list or for your New Year's resolution. I really like talking with Stephen because he's fun and he's got a lot of energy and he's always happy, or he's always very kind. And I know that if I need a walking buddy, Stephen would walk, kind of thing. So those kinds of things are really important for people to drill down and just get really specific. So maybe your dad might, maybe just setting up a phone call for him to have with a friend, or a visit from an old neighbor. Just setting up little things throughout the year as a little goal might be helpful too.
Yeah, having a positive attitude is so important. Just affects, really everything. We all deal with stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's how we react to those situations that's just as important, if not more important, than what the situation is, right? So you could have something bad happen to you, and instead of dwelling on the negativity of it, take it as an opportunity to try something different, or to find a better way to, do something, to challenge yourself and expand your comfort zone, right?
Exactly.
To get things done. So
exactly, absolutely. Physical activity. We know that you may be wheelchair bound, but are you doing some deep breathing exercises to help to develop your lungs? Are you lifting your arms up over your head to help with your circulation? There's so many little teeny things that you can do to manage some level of movement that will help you in any way. Can you stand? Your digestion is able to, it changes. Think of people who are completely wheelchair bound, especially someone who may be a paraplegic. They have the new rewalk equipment, and that's going to be, the exoskeletons are going to be, they're approved, and they should start showing up in the rehab centers. So those are things that you're going to want to ask about too. But if you've been physically strong enough prior to having, say, a stroke or an accident, where you need to rebuild that strength, you needed to have some of that strength before, to be able to really benefit from using an exoskeleton. So just, little things.
And that goes back to your attitude, right? I know I shared this story with you. We were back in Ohio visiting family, and one of my dad's cousin, we had never met her before, but we had occasion to run into her, and she had just had some medical procedure done. She walked with a cane, and we saw her there was a bowling league that she was a part of. We didn't know that she actually bowled. We just figured it was something to get her out of the house, and her family, some of her family members were there, but lo and behold, she gets up to bowl, and she's got her cane. She grabs her bowling ball, and she uses her cane to get to the line. She puts her cane down and then bowls. And she bowled, I don't know, like 3 games while we were there. And she didn't score a lot, and she told us that. She's like, I'm probably going to score about in the 40s if I'm lucky. But I'm here and I'm doing this, and
that's fantastic.
Attitude to get out and want to be around people. Again, going back to that social interaction and how important that was to her, and the physical.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Great story. Great story. And I love it when people shock us like that. My uncle was flat-footed and he was kind of hunched over and, you know, walking, but he used to ride his bicycle for hundreds of miles. I mean, he was such a competitive cyclist. Well, not so much competitive as much just long distance, enjoyed really riding.
Right.
And then with Shape Up too, eating habits. So right now in particular, really think about how much sugar you're eating. Mostly because our immune system will be so much stronger when you're reducing or eliminating sugar. So kind of look towards that kind of keto idea. And there could be some benefit, even though there is sugar, there could be some benefit in honey because especially like a eucalyptus honey, some of like an orange blossom honey, some of those can offer some medicinal support. Vitamins, what kind of vitamins or nutrients are you needing? I would suggest also a blood test to see what things you may be lacking. There are all kinds of tests out there right now. Some are very accurate, but 10 times, and there's a variety of them. I wouldn't necessarily have one to recommend, but see if you even need to put something extra in your body or where you are with something in particular. Ask your doctor to have your vitamin B and your vitamin D levels checked. So important. Vitamin D definitely helps with immune. Also, I think really we're seeing studies where vitamin D, low in vitamin D, is also being associated with some cancers, that your immune system is not able to support you against things like that. Look at at zinc, very helpful. You don't want to overdo it, but look at vitamin zinc, or the nutrient zinc as a support for your immune system. Hydration, very, very important. You know, black tea and green tea also have some great nutrients in that to help support immunity. Chicken soup, but in particular, I think it's when you have that whole chicken in there and you're letting that simmer and marinate, and you have all of the bones and everything. You hear so much about bone broth, and Melinda would talk about bone broth, but there's so many medicinal benefits to bone broth as well. So those things can kind of help. Just look towards something to really support your immune system, to support your body. What goes in, like, doesn't always come out. So avoiding the processed foods and that sort of thing. And helping your digestive tract too. So that walking and taking the steps are just as essential in supporting your digestion and your immune system as well. And then U is United Family, and you may not have close family, or maybe you're from a very small family, or you're the only one left in your family. Your United Family is whoever you consider close to you. So going back to the attitude and influencers, who are those positive people in your very tight circle that you want to spend time with and need to spend time with? We actually know that loneliness has a worse effect than smoking cigarettes a day. Scary. And then purpose. What is your purpose? Are you getting up in the morning and have nothing to do, but are you volunteering? Or do you have a hobby? Do you have a favorite show that you enjoy? Do you have something that you really enjoy doing with or for somebody else? It should be something that you really enjoy doing, something that you're probably good at, and something that you would like to share with somebody else so that it actually benefits another person in addition to you. So that's Shape Up. And I just hope that everyone can have a fantastic and safe new year. And I know you're going to be really busy with the parade.
We are. We kicked off our parade week activities last night. We had 3 events that we were at and a couple more today, and it's starting to get fun.
It is. I'll be at the end of the parade. So if anybody's towards the end of the parade on Sierra Madre, Sierra Madre, I'll be over there. And just really quick, let me show the perk for the day. And today it's about time day. So it's the day that we think about the fact that we had all these things that we wanted to do, and we don't do them. So let's sit down and look at what we wanted to do for last year. Did we accomplish some of those things? What can we do in teeny little baby steps to do for ourselves into 2024? Would love to have you participate in any of our Shape Up workbook, our journal. If you'd like the perk for free, the PDF to the journal, we'd be happy to get that out to you. So I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful New Year.
Yeah. Do you want to do the quick?
Yeah, let's do quick. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's always interesting. There's certain times during the year where there's a lot of things to choose from. You know, it's a very busy sports time, and then like time around the end of the year, not so much. But we actually have a really good one today, I think. So in 1982, Paul Bear Bryant, who was the legendary coach of the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, he ended his career on this day in 1982. So at the time he ended his career, he was the winningest college football coach of all time. He had 323 wins. When you consider at the time you were playing a 10 or 11 game season, so to accomplish 323 wins, you know, you're not winning every game every year. So it took a lot of time, a lot of success at a lot of different programs for him to do that. He won 6 national championships and 13 conference championships during his career. He also coached at the University of Maryland and the University of Kentucky and Texas A&M before going on to Alabama. But he's known for all the success he had at Alabama, and he's also known for his black and white houndstooth hat.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
So, he shaped a lot of lives, graduated a lot of people, and had a lot of impact on not just the sports world, the college football world, but just the world at large. So, so on this day, he hung up his hat, so to speak, and that's what happened.
That's great. Yeah. And what a great influence, going back to attitude and influencers. It's even fun to even read excerpts of things or watch old videos from people who can be so inspirational. So lift yourself up, or make that as a little thing that you want to do for yourself too. Just finding some inspirations for the day and share those with others, so you can be the influence also. Sure. All right. Have a great
Happy New Year. Be safe.
Be safe, and we will see you into 2024.
Look forward to it.
Great.